Like a heated divisional game. That's about to come your way.
Welcome to another bonus edition of Upon Further Review. And in this edition, we talk about the Arizona Cardinals versus the Seattle Seahawks. And this NFC West division rivalry game will be happening on November 23rd at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and you can catch that on Fox. And right here, we have a new format for Upon Further Review, and what we're doing is we're having some Madden gameplay. While I do the Upon Further Review, I'm playing Madden as the team that I'm picking to win this game. And I'm picking the Seahawks, so I'm going to be playing as Seattle versus Arizona. And entering this game, the Cardinals are 9-1, and the Seahawks are 6-4. This is a huge game right here with big playoff implications for both teams. The Cardinals have been tearing it up. They're on a 6-game winning streak. They said they're 9-1, but they still have 2 games left against the Seahawks this season, so it's going to be a big one. Ooh, look at that, a sack right away. Bruce Irvin sacking Drew Stanton on the first play of this game. In Seattle, they're at 6-4, but they still got the 2 games against Arizona and 2 games against San Francisco, so there's still, the possibility of them taking the West. Arizona, though, at 9-1, they definitely have the lead for sure. They have a 3-game lead. In this game right here, though, Seattle needs to win this game. Oh, almost sacked again. And this game here is a game that, that Seattle had this one circled when the schedule came out. I know some people say, every game, they get up for, and especially if you can't get up for a game at this level of competition, what are you doing? But the fact that the only game Seattle lost last year in their Super Bowl season at home in Seattle was to Arizona. They're the only team last year that was able to beat the Seahawks in Seattle. So the Seahawks want to avenge. Oh no, what the heck? Floyd, what the hell? 3rd and long. Floyd with the big pass. That's the thing. The Cardinals, man, at any point they can just get a big strike out of nowhere, whether it's Carson Palmer or Drew Stanton behind center. Man, doing that against friggin' Richard Sherman too, that's not good. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. What the heck? It was going so good. Ugh. Anyway. But that Seattle wants to avenge that loss from last year and beat the Cardinals here in Seattle. They're going to be up for this one. We'll see how the weather, if it's going to be bad weather or not. Some of these games I'm putting the weather on, partially because of all that snow they got in Buffalo. And I'm almost thinking about doing that one in Buffalo. We'll see what happens. Of course, that one's going to be played in Detroit. But anyway, right here we got the Cardinals and the Seahawks. And the Cardinals start off with a 3-game winning streak to open up the season. As they start off with that Monday night game, they beat the San Diego Chargers, and then they ended up going to New York, beating the Giants. Then they had the Niners come to Arizona, and they beat them. Then they had their bye week. But then they went to Denver after the bye week. Oh, there we go, a big sack right there. Woo! Defense, baby. Yeah, but after their bye week, the only loss they had was in week 5, and that was in Denver. They were close, in that game, and then all of a sudden Denver just took it and just poured it on late and ended up winning by 3 touchdowns. It was an 8-point game at one point. I should get some kind of sub. Get that guy out of there. Why is he in every package? There we go. Alright, but then ever since losing that game, they have a 6-game winning streak. They beat the Redskins in Arizona, they beat the Raiders in Oakland, they beat the Eagles in Arizona, they beat the Cowboys in Dallas, and then they beat the Rams and the Lions in Arizona. And that brings us to this game here in Seattle. And the Seahawks, they won the first game of the year, period. That was a Thursday night game against the Packers. They then lost against the Chargers in San Diego, but they beat the Broncos in the rematch of Super Bowl 48. That was in Seattle. It was an overtime game. They said they won that one. But look at this, 4th and 19. They're going for the field goal, and it's no good. No good. What? It's good. Oh, just barely. Chandler Catanzaro. Actually, gives me a reminder. This roster update was actually created by ELiAS 1289. I'll put his gamer tag down in the description. You can go to the community creations and download this. It's ESPN 2K15 roster, and that's what he calls it. And he was kind enough to let us use this roster in our games, in our uploads here. And it's capital E, capital L, lowercase I, capital A, capital S, 1289. ELiAS or ELiAS, I'm not sure how he pronounces it. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Apologize for saying it wrong. He did a great job here with the roster. I've had to make a couple slight adjustments. Of course, part of that is because of like injuries and stuff, which how could we possibly have known that? But he did an excellent job making all the updates and stuff, and I greatly appreciate it. Definitely saved us a lot of time and energy and made it a better experience, I feel, by having actual players. It would take me some time to do that, so I appreciate that. That was very, very cool of him. Yeah, like I said though, the Seahawks, they won that game in the rematch of the Super Bowl. Then they had their bye week, entered the bye week at 2-1. Then they beat the Redskins in Washington to even up their record at 500. Here we go, beast mode. Ooh, beast mode, baby. In the snow, beast mode. But then they lost 2 games in a row, losing at home to Dallas, and then on the road against the Rams. Kind of controversial loss there. Then they put together a 3-game winning streak, winning in Carolina against the Panthers, and then at home against the Raiders and the Giants before losing last week to the Chiefs in Arrowhead. That was a tough game, a hard-fought game. They ended up losing it. It really was one of those games where it was a shame that either team had to lose the way they played it, but there can only be one winner. And so they did lose that game, but here they are in Week 12 with a chance to really make a really huge stride towards the potential of repeating in the NFC West. I do think the Cardinals are probably going to win this division. I actually thought the Cardinals coming into the season were going to be a really hot team just because of how they played last year, and that they were set up really well to come into the season, and they're hungry even though they've had a lot of injuries. But the Seahawks, though, I mean, they've had somewhat of a Super Bowl slump, but not really, They did, of course, lose some players, free agency. That always happens to Super Bowl teams, that can't really help that. But they've had, some injuries and stuff too and whatnot. But they right here are 6-4, and with those games, 2 games against the Cardinals and 2 games against the Niners left on their schedule, they're right there in the mix for the NFC West and the possibility of repeating. I think either way, the Seahawks should make the playoffs at the very least as a wild card team. That's what it's kind of looking like, but you never know. They pick up this win here against the Cardinals, and then they win in San Francisco next week. Of course, they got to then go to Philly, and then they got San Francisco coming to Seattle, then they got to go to Arizona, and then they got the Rams coming into Seattle. So if they do it, that's going to be the hard way, because that's a really tough schedule that they have remaining, closing out the year. But this is a tough team, and they've been playing really good football. I mean, they got that loss last week, but it was only by 4 points. Like I said, they could have won either way. It looked like they were going to almost pull it off, but look at that Doug Baldwin with the first down, bringing us to the 2-minute warning. Go over the stats here in a moment. And the Cardinals, they're the 11th team when it comes to passing proficiency and passing the ball in yards per game. Seahawks are 30th. So the Cardinals, even with the issues with Carson Palmer being injured, he was injured earlier in the season, and then he got injured again now. But still, the Cardinals keep putting up those numbers. They got quite the talented receiving core. They've got a lot of talented receiver. And the Seahawks, though, they just, they don't really run the ball. I mean, they don't really pass the ball. What am I saying? They run the ball. The Seahawks are all about the run. It's all about Marshawn Lynch. They don't really pass the ball that much. I think, though, that is, I don't know, it's kind of weird, because it's like part of it is just the the way things start. Look at that run by Marshawn Lynch, baseball. I think that their passing game, it's developing. Russell Wilson has 2019 yards, 13 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. So, I mean, he protects the ball really well, even though he doesn't put up big numbers. And I expect him to, as time goes on, I think Russell Wilson will develop his passing game more. I think he does a great job of, clock management and just managing the game. He doesn't make mistakes. He extends plays with his legs. He makes clutch plays in the pass when he has to. And they're one of the very few teams in this league that actually runs the ball more than they pass it. He said that's very rare. They've thrown the ball 292 times and they've run the ball 316. So that right there is the recipe for success, especially at this time of year in November and into December, heading to January. The fact that they run the ball and then they have a good defense, that is the recipe for success. So that's where, that's what made them the Super Bowl champions last year. And we're going to go over the numbers here in a minute, the run numbers. But anyway, with the passing defense, the Cardinals are actually 29th, which I think a lot of people will be surprised to hear that, because you're always hearing about how great the Cardinals' pass defense is. They got those excellent corners. Part of the thing is, though, they let up a lot of yards because they leave their corners out on islands. They're blitzing them like half the time. Like, touchdown, Marshawn Lynch. Did he get in? It was hard to tell because of the snow. But Marshawn Lynch, beast mode, touchdown. And it's raining Skittles from the stands. That's not snow, it's Skittles. That's Skittles. What? What was that? What's going on? His glasses are all frosty. It looks like he has no eyes. Yeah, right there. Beast mode, Marshawn Lynch. We're about to get into these running numbers, too, here in a second. And that right there, that's the key to their success right there, like I was saying, them running the ball. But yeah, as I was saying about the Cardinals, their pass defense, they let up a lot of yards through the air, but like I said, they're blitzing. They blitz more than 50% of the time, and then they leave their corners out on islands because they got Peterson and Cromartie if they're nasty, and then teams get some big plays, but they bend but they don't break. That's something you hear a lot on the show: bend but don't break, and that's gonna be confirmed here in a moment when we look at the points allowed. But when it comes to passing defense, the Seahawks, on the other hand, they have the 3rd rated passing defense. And when it comes to the air and the ground, the Seahawks numbers have just been improving and improving. They've been getting better and better as the season has progressed, as they've really solidified and found their identity. Early on, because they had some new faces and stuff. Plus, they're saying, you get that kind of like Super Bowl hangover a little bit. The long, extended postseason and off season. Oh man, that's crazy. But yeah, but once the season finally got rolling, and their defense has come on strong here lately in the last month or so. But yeah, so when it comes to passing the ball, you actually give the advantage to the Seahawks just because of the fact that their defense. Although it's almost a push because the Cardinals, their defense, the numbers are kind of an amalgamation. I don't know if I'm using that word right, but they're kind of. Oh look, Aaron Rodgers! We got an early Aaron Rodgers sighting. Aaron Rodgers in the winter coat giving Richard Sherman some Gatorade. Holy cow, how about that? Who would have thunk it? Aaron Rodgers. He's just everywhere. Every time, every game, you always see Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, when we look at the running offense of these two teams, the Cardinals are 30th and the Seahawks are 1st. So the Cardinals have trouble getting yards on the ground. A lot of that though is because they just pass. Andre Ellington has been doing all right, putting up some numbers lately. He has 624 rushing yards, but he only has 186 carries compared to 358 passes, from whoever's quarterback. So I mean, he's got 200 less carries than the amount of passes. I mean, so no wonder they don't have a lot of rushing yards. even though he has 624 rushing yards, he's got most of their rushing yards. He carries the bulk of their load. And like I say, he's been coming on lately, you know. Actually, well, he had a stretch there in the beginning of their streak where he was doing pretty decent. But yeah, the actual last couple games, he's been struggling. He only had 23 against St. Louis and 42 against Detroit. Of course, those are two tough defenses for sure. But this defense is tough too, so I mean, it ain't getting any easier. You know? The Seahawks, though, they're number one. They are the number one rushing offense. Marshawn Lynch has 813 yards rushing. Russell Wilson has rushed for 571 yards himself. So, and Marshawn Lynch got 9 touchdowns. Russell Wilson has 4 touchdowns on the ground. So, Russell Wilson, he extends a lot of plays with his feet. He picks up yards on the ground. And he makes his legs work in multiple fashions, like I said, because he'll extend the play, you know, with his legs, and then end up throwing the ball and getting those clutch, you know, first downs. Come on, yes, sack. Woo! Man, it's been sack city right here. Was that the 3rd, 4th sack? I think it's 4, but just getting them sacks. It's the Legion of Boom. Actually, let's look and see, where are they with when it comes to sacks. Pick that play. On the year, they've got 13 sacks. That's it, actually. That's funny, right? Because Justin Houston himself has 12 sacks, and their whole team only has 13. But hey, in this game, hey, maybe this is some kind of, I don't know what the heck they call it, some kind of sign. I know that's not the word I was looking for, but for lack of that better term, you know. We'll call it a sign, which is what the word means anyway. Time in a run out. Maybe I should have called timeout to get that punt. Whatever. It's snowing. We're up by 4 points. It's 7-3 going into halftime. I expect this to be kind of a low-scoring game. Let's actually get into some more stats here. As we were just talking about the running attacks, these two teams. Let's talk about the running defense. And the funny thing is, see the score is 7-3. Well, guess what? The Cardinals have the 3rd-ranked rushing defense, and the Seahawks have the 7th. So there it is, 7-3. How about that? That's funny. I did not plan that out. That just happened. But yeah, the Cardinals 3rd-ranked rushing defense, Seahawks 7th. So you see the Seahawks numbers are really awesome. They're actually not getting the credit they deserve for their defensive play. You know, said 3rd against the pass, 7th against the run. They're doing it, and the Cardinals, like I said, they're 3rd against the run. They don't let up a lot of yards on the ground, so that's going to be a lot of fun to watch and see what happens when beast mode, you know, goes up against that Cardinals defense. It'll be definitely a fun game for sure. Definitely going to be a great game to watch. Ooh, look at that beast mode. He didn't go down the first time they hit him. We look at points scored and points allowed. The Cardinals are 14th when it comes to points, you know, on the board. 4 points scored. The Cardinals are 14th. The Seahawks are 10th. So they can put some points up there. Not like an insane amount, but they get it done. And then when it comes to points allowed, though, the Cardinals, they're 2nd. So they're one of the best teams when it comes to letting up points. They don't let up points. And that's what I was talking about with the bend but don't break. You know, they might let up some yards through the air, but they don't really let up yards on the ground, and they don't let up touchdowns. You know, they force teams to have to settle for field goals, so expect Steven Pushka to be busy over there for Seattle going up against that Cardinals D. And Seahawks, they're 12th when it comes to points allowed, so they're actually kind of letting up some points this year. They're not letting up a lot of yards, but they're letting up some points. Not a lot of points, but and that number should go down. It'll go down after this game probably even, but you know, teams are getting some points. Part of that is you know, special teams and things like that, because like I said, they're not letting up the yards, but then teams do get some points against them. Part of that is too is they end up playing, you know, into overtime. Like, well, they only had the 1 overtime game actually, but still, you know. But they've had actually some teams that score a lot of points that they've gone against, but they did hold the Packers to just 16. You know, they went against the Chargers when the Chargers were hot early on in the season. And then, let's see, actually, let's pick a play here. Yeah, Denver, they held Denver to just 20. You know, in Dallas, they did let up some points to Dallas, and they let up some points to St. Louis. But St. Louis actually, at that time, was kind of like putting points up. Wide open. Curse. Look at that. See, Russell can get it done. Look at 100%, but only 43 yards. Russell Wilson, they said, I mean, he takes care of the ball pretty well. I was talking about stats earlier. I was seeing, what was it, 14 touchdowns? No, 13 touchdowns, only 5 picks. And he's got those 4 touchdowns rushing as well, so he gets the points. Right there, a clutch first down on 3rd down for Seattle right here. Just gonna pound the ball, try to get some points. A field goal, at least. A touchdown would be even better. This game is looking. What the heck was that? What was going on there? Did you see that craziness? That's actually one thing I gotta mention is that the Seahawks are gonna be without Max Unger. He's their center, and you can't really overstate the importance of Max Unger. A lot of people overlook the offensive line and overlook centers, but actually the center is the most underrated and most important position on the field. He's the quarterback of the offensive line. But look at that, Marshawn Lynch, beast mode, with a huge rush. Just keeps picking up the yards. That's what's up. But yeah, Max Unger not being in there, that's going to hurt Seattle. That's actually going to be something that's going to make this a tough game. I mean, the numbers on paper, these two teams are pretty close. They're really closely matched. See, the Seahawks are a little better on paper, but like I said, it's pretty close, and it's not going to be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. It could go either way, too. These teams are 2 great defenses. I just think that Seattle, like I was saying earlier, they're going to pick up this win here. Like, not as if they don't come out trying to win every game, but I think they got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder from that loss against Arizona last year, especially it being the only game that they lost at home. Well, that's the 3rd quarter, and right here we see the Seahawks up 7-3. As this one's winding down, and we're actually right in prime position. There's beast mode. He's tearing it up. We're ready to score again here. Just keep giving beast mode the rock. Yeah, here we go. Let's see what we got here. 2nd and 3. Yeah, you know, the Seahawks are a team. When they get fired up, they got a chip on their shoulder. Man, watch out. You know, look at that touchdown, beast mode. Marshawn Lynch's 2nd touchdown of the game. There you go. That's going to be the key to success for sure for Seattle. Is going to be beast mode. Of course, going up against that Cardinals defense, he might not necessarily have a lot of yards, but you don't know. Beast mode is beast mode. I mean, he's got 813 yards on the season to go with those 9 touchdowns. But just the fact of him carrying and putting the punishment on him, and just carry after carry, that's going to be the key to success. He's got 247 yards receiving as well as 3 touchdowns catching. But it's like every time beast mode hits you, you know, it makes you more tired. He wears down defenses is what I'm trying to say. And so, I mean, as the game progresses and gets into the 4th quarter, teams don't want to tackle him anymore. But look at that, 100 yards off 13 carries, 2 touchdowns. I don't know about if he's going to have that kind of numbers, but, you know, maybe throw a few more carries on there and a couple more yards to go with those touchdowns. Said though, pretty much that's what I expect to see, a defensive battle. It's going to be lots of running from the Seattle side. You know, Russ is going to make those big plays with his legs, even though, like I said, extending plays with his legs and then picking up those key clutch first downs that he always seems to do. I mean, the guy's like a magician out there. Magician, no magician. Right here now, the defense just got to come up with a stop. Oof, boom, look at that hit by Sherm. Richard Sherman laying him out, making him drop the ball. Thought he had a first down? No. Yeah, the defense, though, is going to come up strong on both sides. Both teams got great defense, so Should be a hard-nosed, old-school style game, you know, fought in the trenches. Cardinals are going to try to air it out somewhat, you know that. Just the style that they play, but the Seahawks, you're going to get a chance to show off that Legion of Boom that was so good last year. They started off with not the best numbers, but they've been coming on strong lately. So, I mean, you see they're now number 3 in the NFL in passing yards allowed, so they've been coming up really big in the last few weeks, in the last month or so. See if they can have another big game. I think they should. Drew Stanton has been doing pretty good, but whoa, look at that, baby. Sack. Bobby Wagner. Woo! He's actually should be back for this game. He's been dealing with some injuries, but he practiced all week, so I expect to see him out there. That pretty much does it for this game, though. This game's almost over at this point. That was a huge sack right there. 4th and 7. Looks like they're going to actually go for it. Well, see if we can just let this go down with a 2-minute warning. I'm not sure if they're going to actually... Oh, it looks like they might force me to pick a play. Looks like they're going to try to get a play off before the 2-minute warning. I'm just going to call a timeout because I think they might end up punting it here, but they might go for it. We'll see. I called the timeout anyway. Well, they're still going to go for it, so alright. They want to go for it. They want to push their luck right here. They don't have Andrew, but they're going to push their luck. 4th and 7 right here. They got to go for it anyway. They're down by 2 scores, 11 points. If they don't make this first down right here, they turn it over. This game's over. Oh, they did it. They made the first down. So they extend this one. It's not over yet. But here we are, the 2-minute warning. We're still up by 2 scores, so they're going to have to do something in the snow. That makes it even harder. But then again, hey, maybe they'll actually, they first got to score, but then they're going to go for an onside kick. And if you can get an onside kick, it's probably in the snow. Oh, look at that big sack. The defense just keeps sacking them. And I don't really look at the stats usually, but I'm going to have to look at the stats for this game. Oh, another one almost. Coming right in on him. Almost sacked him again. Actually taking a little bit of the Arizona Cardinals philosophy to them, making them eat their own medicine. So the Cardinals, they just love to blitz. But right here, we're just up in their face, blitzing and friggin' sacking them like crazy. This has been insane. But here we are, 3rd and 18. They're forced to another 3rd and long. Of course, they'll probably end up going for it again on 4th down. So we got to come up with 2 stops here. That's what it's looking like. Oh, they dumped it off. Boom. We stopped them right there. Tackled them inbounds. Kept the clock rolling. They got 2 timeouts. They're not going to burn one, though. So they're going to try to get this play off. Oh, actually, they didn't have to burn a timeout. It was a complete pass. Isn't the clock rolling? He's waiting on me. Let's see. Is the clock? Did they call timeout? I don't know. The clock stopped for some reason. It's 4th and 15 right here. This could be it. If we stop them. Get him! Get him! Yes! Turnover. What flag? Oh man! Don't tell me it's roughing the passer. What is it? Yeah, roughing the passer. Bull crap. Man, I can't believe they just gave him that first down right there. It's alright though. At least it makes it more interesting, right? It would have been game. They didn't call that penalty on us. We get the ball and that's it. We just had to take the victory formation. Right. Oh yeah, baby! Fumble! Oh, they got the recovery though. We got them with the sack. They fumbled it. They recovered. Look at that defense, baby, just in the backfield all day. They can't stop us. Come on. Ooh, hey, they got a little pass off there. We're calling a timeout. All right, Sherm getting some Gatorade. All right, 3rd and 10 from the 47. A minute left. They're making it entertaining at least. They could come down like this too, you never know. We'll see on Sunday. Alright, shotgun, here we go. Let's see what we get them. Get him, Earl. Yeah, Earl Thomas with the tackle. Now it's 4th and 7. So you know what? I'm going to go for a timeout right here. Just want to get my defense in place, make sure my guys are ready for this play. 4th and 7. So you can just get this turnover, try to get the ball in this game, bring this one to a close. So here we are. They're having success on these 4th downs. Some funkiness. They're probably like, why didn't we just go for it all game on 4th down? Look at that, another 1st down. Wow, how about that one? The clock's still rolling. I thought he got out of bounds. I can't even see what out of bounds is anymore. Oh, there we go. Earl Thomas with the sack, baby. Another sack. Actually, wasn't even Earl Thomas, but it was Thomas. It was another sack. They're spiking the ball. It's 3rd and 18. Holy cow. How many sacks is that? I lost track of how many sacks. Looks like Bruce Arians wiped his glasses off finally. All game long, we couldn't even see his eyes because they were all fogged up from the snow. He finally went and wiped his glasses, I guess. But all right, here we are, 3rd down. They're not getting it done on 3rd, and that's why they're having to go for it on 4th. Look at that, 28.6% on 3rd downs. 3rd and long. What's going to happen here? You know they're going to pass it, obviously. Come on, pass rush. Oh, man, I can't believe it. Almost picked it. That was Earl Thomas. Who's that other Thomas? Anyway, 4th and 18. You know they're going to go for it. So let's see what happens here. Man, this game should have been over so long ago, but they extended the crap out of it by all these passing plays, stopping the clock. You funny Cardinals. Freaking computer. Alright, let's see here. Let's get them. Somebody. Oh my goodness. Another 1st down. Oh my gosh. Tackled him. Forced him out of bounds. That was crazy. Couldn't even hardly see the sideline. Ted Ginn Jr. How about that one? Alright. Man. I cannot believe this. They just keep coming. They will not give up. That's the Cardinals for you. They don't quit. They don't know the meaning of the word. Alright, here we go. Shotgun. Can't even see the field. I put this for light snow. Does this look like light snow to you? I guess in Seattle, this is what constitutes light snow. Look at that, another sack. So many sacks that you don't even get a highlight anymore. Here we go, 2nd and goal now. Where are they? They're at the 16, and they spiking the ball. It's 3rd and goal from the 16. Another 3rd and long. What an insane drive this has been for the Cardinals here. Let's just blitz these mofos and see what happens.
What a drive this has been.
Here we go, 3rd and goal. Almost sacked him. Get him, get him, get him, get him. Tackle him, Cam. Yes. Woo. Killer Cam. Cam Chancellor. He tried to push me off, but I kept holding that X button. I wasn't letting go of that X button. So here we go, 4th down, 4th and 8. Can they convert another friggin' 4th down? I'm calling a timeout because I want to make sure my guys are fresh here and try to stop them. Even though this game is pretty much over, even if they get a touchdown with how much time's left on the clock. Let's see here. Obviously, they're going for the 4 receivers. Let's see what happens here with the defense. Gonna come at him. 4th and goal from the 8.
It's now or never.
He's got all day. Almost sacked. Oh, man. And they got the touchdown. Wow. You got to give it to Drew Stanton, huh? Give it to Computer Drew. Computer Drew. How about that one? Coming down, making it interesting at the end. The Cardinals get a touchdown. Look at the glasses starting to fog up. What's going on, buddy? Wipe your glasses, Computer Bruce. And they're going for 2. They're going for 2. These guys, you know, these freaking Cardinals going for 2. All right, we'll see. They're probably going to pass it, but I picked a running play. Yeah, they're going for the pass. Let's see what happens. We just got to get to him. We got to sack him. Get him, get him, get him! Yes! The pass rush got to him. We didn't sack him, but we stopped him from the 2-point. So now they're going for the 2-point conversion because they wanted to get the onside kick and then get a field goal and tie it and go to overtime. We know they're going for the onside kick. We picked the recovery right here. Here we go. In the snow, onside kick. They're down by 5. 11 seconds left. And Curse recovers. Oh man, I almost could have ran that one for a touchdown. But what I do is I always just dive for the ground when I recover an onside kick because I don't want to fumble or have something funky happen. But if I hadn't dove at the ground, I almost feel that I could maybe return that. That was kind of funny. But hey, with the recovery on the onside kick, no timeouts left for either team. All that's left to do is for Russell Wilson to take a knee in the victory formation, and this game's coming to a close. The final score, 14-9. A funky way for it to happen, though. Usually it would be 3 field goals, except here it was a touchdown with a missed extra point along with the field goal. And the Cardinals got on the board first with the Seahawks pull off the victory. Let me know in the comments section what you think. Do you think the Cardinals are going to win? Do you think the Seahawks are going to win? Do you enjoy the Madden gameplay? Let us know. And if you did enjoy it, hit the like button. If you want more content such as this, go ahead and subscribe. There's your player of the game, Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch. I wonder what the play of the game is going to be. Let's see, what's our play of the game? Here it is, the play of the game. And there it is, Beast Mode, Marshawn Lynch running for the end zone for the touchdown. He wouldn't go down. Look at that, staying on his feet, getting into the end zone. Marshawn Lynch, thank you very much for watching. It's greatly appreciated. I hope you're having a good day and have a great weekend and enjoy all of the sports.